Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese legend who's played for clubs such as Sporting, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, Manchester United again, and Al Nassr. This is also the same person of 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, 2 Nation Leagues, 1 Euros, 4 Golden Boots, and many more trophies and accolades. The debate that has sparked numerous conversations within football has always been who's a better footballer between Messi and Ronaldo. This debate is different from a debate of another sport such as basketball. One comparison from another sport that is often talked about is LeBron versus Jordan. Now, why is this debate between Messi and Ronaldo more special than the debate between Jordan and LeBron? Well, Messi and Ronaldo played during the same era, and they also played in the same league for 9 years, was 2 clubs that are sworn rivals of each other. And now, I think we can all say our own reasons for who's a better footballer between Messi and Ronaldo, but if you look at the pure athlete aspect, then I think we can all agree that Ronaldo is arguably one of the best athletes of all time, if not the best. Why do I think Ronaldo is the best athlete? Well, it's fairly obvious when you look at all of his traits throughout the years. From his ability to jump 2 meters and head the ball into the goal, his rapid speed that doesn't get talked about as much, his immense power to shoot the ball in from a very far range, his body in itself, which has been built over time because of his own hard work, and many more features. It's pretty hard to actually decide if Ronaldo is the best athlete of all time just because of other freaks of nature in other sports. For the sake of this video, let's just talk about why Ronaldo is one of the best candidates to be called the best athlete of all time. Did Ronaldo always start off as this muscular individual who could score 50 to 60 goals each season? Before we talk about how Ronaldo rose to fame, let's start off by mentioning his childhood. Ronaldo's mother wanted to have an abortion because of the financial problems that they were facing, but she ultimately decided to keep the baby. Growing up was a difficult time for Ronaldo because of the extreme poverty he faced, but he found comfort in the sport of football. Ronaldo made his senior debut for Sporting in August of 2002. In October of the same year, Ronaldo would start off his goal-scoring journey with the brace in a 3-0 win. A year later, in August of 2003, Sporting would face Man United in a friendly and win 3-1 because of Ronaldo's brilliance. This standout performance allowed him to impress Manchester United and Sir Alex Ferguson, and he joined the club just a couple days later. If this friendly never happened, it's highly likely that Ronaldo wouldn't be as well known as he is today. It's still pretty safe to assume that because it is Ronaldo, he would have eventually become a worldwide icon, even if it may have happened a lot later. One of the most fair comparisons I've ever seen would be comparing Ronaldo and Jordan. Both players evolved over time and became the faces of their sport. Ronaldo was very inexperienced at first, but over time he learned to hone his skills in Manchester United, and he eventually became a worthy candidate for the title of the best in the world. It seemed like this version of Ronaldo was basically able to do everything, from scoring free kicks 30 to 40 yards out like it was nothing, surviving and beating Premier League defenders who were only aiming to take him down, creating chances for his teammates, and also scoring amazing goals. This version of Ronaldo was such a dominant athlete that it's fair to assume his worth today would be minimum 300 million. Over time, you can definitely see his stats at Manchester United improve over time. The only exception would be his final season at Manchester United in the 08-09 season. Now you may be wondering to yourself, did Ronaldo have a downfall this season? Well, the answer is no. His previous season, which was the 07-08 season, is considered to be one of the best individual seasons of all time. In this season alone, Ronaldo won his first Ballon d'Or, FIFA World Player of the Year, UEFA Best Player, the European Golden Shoe, and also team trophies such as the Champions League, Premier League, Club World Cup, and the Community Shield. Just to give you some context on how truly incredible this year was, I will list some team trophies and individual awards won by teams and players in 2024. Vinicius Jr. won Best Men's Player from FIFA. Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. Vinicius won UEFA Best Player. Harry Kane won the Golden Boot. Madrid won the Club World Cup. Man City won the Community Shield. and the Premier League, and Madrid won the Champions League. Palmer won Young Player of the Year, Holland won the Premier League Golden Boot, and Garnacho won the Puskas Award. What if I told you that Ronaldo, while playing for Manchester United, won all of these trophies and individual awards? You probably wouldn't be that surprised just because everyone knows how great of an athlete Ronaldo actually is. Before we move on to his goal-scoring days at Madrid, we must recognize Sir Alex for giving Ronaldo the chance to shine and become the player that we all know and love. Ronaldo's move to Real Madrid was considered risky at first because Madrid were struggling. Meanwhile, Ronaldo just made it to 2 straight UCL finals with Manchester United. This confidence of Ronaldo wanting to try a new challenge for himself after having a very good run at Manchester United is another reason why he's loved by so many. This decision would turn out to be the best Ronaldo has ever made in his career. Ronaldo's arrival brought hope for Madrid, and he will be part of the reason why they were so successful in the 2010s. His early days at Madrid seemed pretty similar to how he played at United, and his goal-scoring records were also greatly improving over time. After a while, Ronaldo transitioned to more of a pure goal scorer, and his main objective was producing goals. In terms of winning matches and producing goals, the Madrid version of Ronaldo was definitely his peak. Ronaldo would somehow score 60-plus goals for 4 consecutive seasons. In his overall Madrid career, he produced 450 goals and 120 assists in 438 games. That's 84 minutes per goal and 66 minutes per goal contribution, which is just insane to think about. 99.9% of players barely achieve 90 minutes per goal contribution. Meanwhile, Ronaldo is doing it with only 66 minutes. In La Liga, he had 311 goals and 87 assists in 292 games. In the Champions League, he produced 105 goals and 28 assists in 101 games. In the Copa del Rey, he had 22 goals and 3 assists in 30 games. In the Super Cup, he had 2 goals in 2 games. In the Club World Cup, he had 6 goals and 2 assists in 6 games. Now you may notice a pattern. In many of the competitions I listed, Ronaldo has more goals than he has games. This feat has rarely been done before with the exception of other players, and the fact that Ronaldo was constantly doing this is absurd. His first 2 seasons at Madrid, which are normally considered his weakest, would be wild when you take into consideration that he's had 86 goals and 22 assists in 89 games. Although he may have only won 2 La Ligas, Ronaldo is definitely doing his part in terms of scoring goals and getting his name on the top. Ronaldo's era at Madrid is more focused on the Champions League. During the infamous three-peat of Madrid, Ronaldo had 47 goals and 12 assists in 38 games. The fact that he managed to get this many goals in just 3 seasons is up there with one of his highest achievements. If we only counted his stats during this three-peat, he would still have more Champions League goals than the likes of Eusebio, Drogba, Neymar, Del Piero, Griezmann, Harry Kane, Aguero, Cavani, Rooney, Kaká, Suarez, and many more. What set apart Madrid Ronaldo from other players was his ego. He always had this confidence that he was the best, and the whole world definitely saw this. Ronaldo would tear apart teams and even come back in the second leg like it was a normal day for him. Now, Ronaldo also had a huge part in every Champions League campaign that he won in terms of goal contributions. In 2008, his goal involvement was 45%. In 2014, it was 54%. In 2016, it was an astonishing 71%. In 2017, it was 50%. And in 2018, it was 55%. This just demonstrates how crucial Ronaldo was to each of his winning campaigns. Some very well-known instances in which Ronaldo saved his team included his hat-trick versus Wolfsburg, his games versus Bayern, his goals against Villarreal in 2011, and many more. Ronaldo's unwavering mentality of being the best is what makes him so popular. Ronaldo himself is the person with the most followers on Instagram, and it's not surprising to see why. His resilience and loud personality is what makes his rivalry between him and Messi so unique. Unlike Ronaldo, who tends to be more open about who he is, Messi is more of the quiet type. There's definitely nothing wrong with either of these, but I just think it's very unique. Ronaldo and Jordan are two players who can definitely talk a lot and then prove why they deserve to be called the best. I also wanted to point out one of Ronaldo's best individual seasons of all time, which was his 14-15 season. In La Liga alone, he had 48 goals and 17 assists in 35 games. That's almost 2 goal contributions per match. Even though Ronaldo didn't win the league this year, he was still a monster who just scored from every possible angle. And it always seemed like he would find himself in the right position. When we look back at what Ronaldo has done, you just have to applaud him, even if you like Messi more. Ronaldo would even get hate from Madrid fans, but for years and years he would always seem to deliver in the end. Ronaldo never cared about the hate. He was just a boy from Portugal whose wish was to play football. Another insane fact about Ronaldo is that he appeared in 8 of the top 10 highest goal-scoring seasons for Madrid in modern history, but he only played 9 full seasons. Ronaldo wasn't just someone whose primary purpose was to score goals. He was also someone who gave out a lot of assists. During the three-peat season for all competitions, he was third for most assists, just behind Lucas Vazquez and Toni Kroos with 35 assists. Ronaldo also has the record for most assists in the Champions League with 42. In Real Madrid history, Ronaldo has the second most assists of 131 in all competitions, just behind Benzema. And now that I talked about the successful period within a club for Ronaldo, I want to get into his international story. For as long as anyone can remember, Ronaldo has always been the main star for Portugal. And it is true that Ronaldo never played for a huge country such as Argentina, France, Germany, Brazil, Italy, and more. I'm not going to be biased and say that Ronaldo was the only person responsible for the success of Portugal within the last 10 years, but he definitely played a major part. Ronaldo is the only person to score in 5 World Cups, and this number may reach 6 very soon. He also holds the record for the most international goals, most international appearances, most goals in the Euros, most goals in the World Cup qualifiers. He's also tied for the most international hat-tricks of Messi, and many more achievements. Even though Ronaldo's international career started off with an unfortunate loss against Greece in the 2004 Euros final, he would eventually get his hands on the trophy once again in 2016, and he would lead Portugal to their first ever international trophy. During his first ever international trophy, which was the Euros, he would be involved in 66% of the goal contributions for the team, with 3 goals and 3 assists. Even though Ronaldo barely played the final, we must recognize how he's the reason why Portugal even made it there in the first place. I think we must admit that Portugal isn't as bad of a team as other people make them out to be, but it's still a very impressive feat winning the Euros when you have teams like Spain who just came off of 1 World Cup and 2 Euros. And then you have France who would go on to win the next World Cup, Germany who won the previous World Cup, Croatia who would make the next World Cup finals, Italy who would go on to win the next Euros, and England who would make it to 2 straight Euro finals. I think just from this achievement alone, Portugal had already exceeded expectations and they were pretty much set. That would stay like this for a while until the introduction of a new tournament called the Nations League. It's a pretty known fact that this tournament doesn't hold as much value as other major tournaments, but winning it is still considered a difficult thing to do. Even though Ronaldo didn't play majority of the games in 2019, he did what he usually does, which is score when it matters. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick in the semi-finals against Switzerland to secure the ticket when facing the Netherlands. Ronaldo was also the top scorer for the competition and would secure his second international trophy. There may have been many heartbreaks with the 2020 Euros, the 2022 World Cup, and the 2024 Euros, but Ronaldo would have a chance to win his third title in 2025. We all knew that Ronaldo would shine like he usually does, but since he was 40 there was some doubt. Ronaldo would silence everyone by scoring 8 goals and providing 1 assist in 9 games in the Nations League. Ronaldo would face Spain in the finals, and this would be one of his hardest challenges yet, considering that Spain just came off the Euros. And they also had players like Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Pedri, Fabian Ruiz, Isco, and more. I guess in a way you could say that this was Ronaldo challenging the younger generation of football. Spain took a 2-1 lead during the 45th minute and it truly seemed like the game was over. But Ronaldo would score the equalizer during the 61st minute and Portugal would eventually reclaim their title as Nations League winners. Ronaldo also scored a previous goal in the semifinals against Germany. This tournament would be one of Ronaldo's best in terms of his involvement, and we definitely saw his hunger even at the age of 40. It seemed like no matter how old Ronaldo was, he would always find a way to score against big teams such as Spain and Germany. Ronaldo was also the second highest goal scorer of the tournament, basically first because Victor Gyökeres played in an easier group, and this is just a crazy feat. Portugal before Ronaldo would only qualify for 3 out of 11 Euro qualifications, 3 out of 17 World Cup qualifications, and 0 major trophies won. Once Ronaldo joined Portugal, they qualified for 6 out of 6 Euros, 5 out of 5 World Cups, and they also won 3 big trophies. In the many years since Ronaldo has made his debut, they would reach 4 finals. From what I've seen, it's reported that Ronaldo has scored around 90 goals for Portugal after the age of 30. This alone would place him in the top 5 for highest international goal scorers of all time when only counting his stats after the age of 30. Ronaldo is currently at around 943 goals. This would make him the highest goal scorer of all time, and he's still scoring goals to this day. The average range for a football player and the age they retire seems to be around 35. If an 18-year-old played all the way to the age of 35, which is 17 years, that means they would have to score 55 goals a season just to match Ronaldo's current goal number. Assuming that Ronaldo does reach 1,000 goals eventually in the future, it will take a player 20 seasons with an average of 50 goals in each of those seasons just to match Ronaldo. I would even say that achieving this statistic is nearly impossible. The only 2 players who even have a remotely small chance of achieving this would be Mbappe and Haaland. The difference between players like Mbappe and Haaland, when compared to Ronaldo, is that some of Ronaldo's lowest goal-scoring seasons for his standards would be the highest for Mbappe and Haaland. This is no hate towards Mbappe and Haaland, but the chances of ever seeing goal-scoring machines like Ronaldo and Messi would just casually score 50 to 60 goals a season for multiple years is definitely out of the question. In my opinion, what makes an athlete an important figure is the influence they have. We all know how Ronaldo is probably the most famous person on the planet right now with hundreds of millions of followers, but let's also look at the football players he's inspired over the years. Players like Rashford, Mbappe, Haaland, Højlund, De Ligt, João Felix, James Maddison, Harry Kane, Vinicius Jr., Mason Mount, Gabriel Martinelli, Raheem Sterling, Bruno Fernandes, Saka, Endrick, Garnacho, and many more. Keep in mind that all of these players are pretty well known, and some of them are only a couple years younger than Ronaldo himself. I think it's a given fact that without Ronaldo existing, Messi would have won even more than he has right now. And we can also say that if Messi never existed, Ronaldo would go on to collect more trophies and awards. Ronaldo has always been a football figure whose hard work and consistent training has been highlighted. Players such as Carlos Tevez, Emmanuel Adebayor, and Park Ji-sung have all stated how Ronaldo would be the first player to arrive hours early, and he would also be the last to leave. I wouldn't consider Ronaldo the best athlete just because of what he's achieved. Everything he's done is just an addition to his mindset and his mentality that makes him who he is. When mentioning the best athletes of all time, you might hear names such as Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Serena Williams, LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky, Messi, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, and many more. Of course, there have been some athletes who have dominated their own individual sport, and it seems like no one is close to them. I believe that Ronaldo is truly the greatest athlete of all time just because of the popularity of football and how it's easily the biggest sport of all time. Being the best player in terms of pure athleticism in the biggest sport definitely puts him on a higher stool than other people. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and also let me know if you want me to do a similar video like this but with Messi.